Guess you don't count. That's what my sister's words might as well have said when the seating chart put me outside, next to the service doors. A folding chair wedged between bins and a mop bucket became my throne for the day. The hallway smelled like lilies and bleach, a combination that made my stomach churn. Through the glass doors I could hear music, laughter, the clinking of glasses. My mother adjusted her pearls. My father's eyes darted everywhere but at me. I gripped the small silver box I'd wrapped hours before. No tears. No arguments. Just quiet. And then somewhere beyond the doors, a scream cut the music short. I didn't yet know whose it would be, or how it would change everything. 3 hours earlier, I'd driven alone from Boston. My mother's last text burned in my mind. Please don't cause trouble. It's Helena's day. Helena. My sister. Golden child. Star of every photo, every celebration, every moment worth remembering. And me? The invisible one. I remembered childhood dinners. Helena with ribbons in her hair, trophies lining the shelves. I had report cards no one looked at. She cried, got rescued. I fixed things, got ignored. Mom said I was easy. Dad said I was independent. Both meant invisible. Convenient. Forgotten. And then the journal. Mom's little brown leather journal. Every page chronicled Helena. First steps, favorite meals, school achievements. Not a single word about me. Not my birthdays. Not my name. Being forgotten was one thing. Being erased was another. That memory pressed against my chest as I walked toward the mansion. Heels clicking on marble, the Vermont air sharp and cold, smelling like pine and money. The mansion was perfect. Crystal chandeliers, floating candles, tables draped in ivory silk. Guests arriving in designer dresses and polished shoes. And me? By the bins, folding chair squeaking with every breath. I set my silver-wrapped box on the small table. Hours of careful selection, deliberate wrapping, tying the ribbon tighter than necessary. This wasn't just a gift. It was proof. Through the glass doors I watched Helena, radiant in white, bouquet in hand. Mom adjusting her veil. Dad standing stiffly. Guests clapping, glasses raised. I could see everything, yet I remained separated. And then she saw me. Her smile was polite, distant, the kind reserved for strangers. Well, she said, tilting her head. Looks like they finally figured out where you belong. I didn't flinch. There's always room for both of us, I said softly. You just keep shrinking it. Her eyes narrowed. Fear. Annoyance. A flicker passed, gone in a second. Then she straightened, chin high, flawless. You always twist things. Just like Mom says, you make everything difficult. Difficult. Twisting. Invisible. Words I'd swallowed my entire life. But I remained calm. I had my box. I had my truth. Music floated through the doors. Glasses clinked. Laughter echoed. Guests were oblivious. I remembered what I had discovered 3 weeks earlier. Helena's secret text to a coworker, lying to manipulate her fiancé, planning to take advantage of people she pretended to love. No threats. No screams. Just evidence. And now it rested quietly in my box, waiting. I watched Helena move gracefully inside, greeting guests, laughing. She thought she controlled the room. But I had my own plan. Calm, precise, deliberate. The DJ announced the first dance. Couples formed. Helena's fiancé Noah spun her once, twice. A perfect image she had rehearsed for months. And I? Still by the bins, still calm, still invisible. Yet for the first time, fully aware. Helena approached the service doors again, catching my reflection in the glass. You don't need to be here, she said. This isn't about needing, I replied. It's about being seen. She laughed, brittle, sharp. Apologize to me? For what? You're not even family. I smiled faintly. No words could match what the box held. Years of erasure, silenced emotions, ignored achievements. All distilled into a quiet, precise act of truth. I thought of past family gatherings. Birthdays she stole, moments celebrated for her alone. I remembered hiding in the corner during Thanksgiving, watching her get everything while I quietly cleaned the mess she left behind. I thought of that journal again. Each page was her life, her story. None of mine. I had been a ghost wandering their halls unseen. Now I had a voice, even if only through truth carefully placed, evidence undeniable. The small silver box became heavier in my hand. Inside, printed screenshots, a folded note, a crystal frame. Helena's lies, manipulations, confessions, all ready to be revealed. I didn't hide them. I didn't threaten. I simply placed the box on the gift table near the ballroom entrance, ensuring it would be seen. My handwriting neat, deliberate, calm. My reflection caught in the glass panel. Steady, composed. For the first time in years I felt powerful, not through anger but patience. Helena laughed as she opened the first layer of her gifts. The box. Crystal frame on top. Beneath, the note and printed messages. Her hand froze. Curiosity, horror, confusion flickered across her face. Guests leaned in. Music thinned. He's so easy to manipulate. Cry a little and he buys anything I want. The truth she had buried was now visible to everyone. Her perfect day began to crumble. Glass shattered as she lunged for the evidence. Chairs tipped. Whispers turned to gasps. The room's energy shifted. "You did this," she hissed. "I showed the truth," I said softly. The guests murmured, stunned. Phones came out. Photos were taken. Conversations stopped mid-sentence. Helena's fiancé, Noah, read through every page silently. His jaw tightened. Her plans, her lies, her manipulations, all in front of family and friends. "You can't," she stammered. "You did that yourself," he replied calmly. Her mother stepped forward, eyes wide. "Sweetheart, too late. The damage was done." Helena's carefully constructed image shattered before everyone she wanted to impress. That I walked away. Quiet. Calm.
No triunfe, no anger, no vindictive smiles.
Just the quiet satisfaction of finally being acknowledged indirectly. Outside, the lake shimmered under the lights. Music floated through the windows, but it didn't touch me. I was free. At my apartment later, the city smelled of rain and coffee. I hung my dress and stared at it. The deep navy fabric gleamed like armor. I didn't need apologies. I didn't need recognition. Silence had become my victory. At the wedding, I had been invisible. Now I was seen through action, not words. I remembered the hallway by the bins, the smell of lilies and bleach, the folding chair that squeaked. That humiliation had been replaced by quiet closure. Sometimes the loudest revenge isn't a scream. It's the sound of your own footsteps leaving the room. By the next morning, social media buzzed. Everyone had photos, videos, reactions. But I didn't care. I didn't check messages. My phone buzzed, dozens of missed calls. I left them unread. I had my peace. My freedom. My quiet victory. The lake outside reflected the sunrise. A new day, new air, new life. I realized that leaving wasn't weakness, it was power. Leaving didn't erase the past, but it freed me from it. At the wedding, I had been by the trash cans. This morning, I sat by the river, watching the water shimmer. Same silence, different meaning. Humiliation turned into peace. Erasure turned into recognition. And for the first time, I didn't wait for anyone's approval. I had space. I had freedom. I had myself.